I like that notebook though. I haven't seen a composition notebook in a while.
I love me a composition notebook.
Yeah, you don't have to respond to what I say. It's okay.
I said I like a composition notebook.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
I kind of said it in my mouth. I kind of ate it.
That's.
I ate my reply. I ate it. Woo! Ew. Hola and welcome back to another episode of Act Up with me, Alana J. I'm here at the one and only Bravery Studios, New Jersey's #1 podcast recording studio. Yeah, wherever you are tuned in right now, please subscribe, like, share, tell a friend, comment, love you, mean it. Thank you so much to everybody that's been listening to the show and watching the show so far. I am truly humbled and grateful and #blessed and all of that. So I just want to say that and extend my sincere gratitude to all of you at home or in your cars or at the gym or wherever you are when you tune in. So today I am solo dolo, okay? I'm in the studio. Well, Marv is with me, and so is the Lord, and all of my ancestors who came before me, I'm sure. Just the visual of like my ancestors' spirits being here made me laugh. I don't know, but I'm dark. What do you want from me? Well, I'm really light, actually. I'm really pale. I'm really fair skinned. So much so that my mom used to tell me that she found me in the dumpster. But anyway, or maybe that was my aunt. I don't know. Anyway, trauma. Guys, I'm really excited because I got to celebrate a victory this week. I got to celebrate a much needed victory this week, which was my first ever appearance on Dun 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 dun. Law and Order! Y'all? Yes. You are looking at Officer Regina Hunter. Okay. Yes, we was a police officer. Yes, we was. We was a police officer. Yes, Marv with the Law and Order sound effect. I was a police officer on this week's episode of Law & Order. If you didn't get a chance to watch, it is episode 2407. It is not a long time commitment. So if you have Peacock or wherever else you may be able to find it on the internets, I would really appreciate if you got to watch. So, y'all, this year has been a lot, but specifically for the acting community. Between the pandemic and the biggest strike in the history of the union, okay, which is what I graduated with my master's in acting into. I graduated with my master's in acting into the biggest strike in the history of the union. I was like, oh, this is just like perfect timing. You know, like, God, you really a comedian though. You know, like you be hitting it with the 1-2 punch, okay? With the 1-2 gut punch. But it's okay. It's okay. Because sometimes the obstacle is the way. Shout out to Ryan Holiday, Daily Stoic, all right? Listen to that audio book. It'll change your life. So we have persevered. We have persevered through all of this nonetheless. And auditions have been quite slim for me this year. I can't speak for other actors that I know. That's generally what the consensus that I got this year was, that things have just been really, really slow. And, you know, let me tell you, going into grad school, like, I was like, I'm going to come out and book. I'm going to be booked and blessed, like, from the second I graduate, okay? Like, I'm ready. She ready, okay? Don't play. But, of course, God had other plans. And he was like, no, sis, you got to take several seats. And maybe a few naps as well, you know? Like, calmate. It's going to be okay. So when I got this audition for Law and Order, it was in September. It was towards the end of September. And it was the first audition I had gotten in months, okay? At least for television, legitimate television series auditions. And that's the goal. That's the goal, is for you to regularly see me on your television screen. That is, when people ask me like, oh, Alana, you do so much. You're an actor, you're a comedian, you do this. Like, what do you want? You know? And I'm like, I'm gonna tell you what I want. I wanna pay my bills by being a cop, detective, somebody in the law on television on a regular basis. And I wanna do stand-up comedy when I'm not on set. That's the goal. That is the goal. And I am on my way. I am on my way. So this audition came through and I was very, very, very excited about it. It's actually funny. I wound up recording it in my brother's house in North Carolina as opposed to in my own house, which I have a preference, obviously, for being in my environment when I'm doing this type of thing. But, you know, I was like, whatever, we're going to get it done. You know, we're going to get it done. And it was, listen, my mustache was woofing. My hair was crazy. She was way overdue for a haircut. We just got it. Shout out to Jersey Curl, okay? I was like, look, I'm real musty and dusty, but you know what? It's okay because I'm a cop and I'm tired. All the cops I know are tired. So I made it work. It worked, you know? I didn't wear any makeup. Mostly because I didn't bring it with me, because I forgot to bring it with me on the drive to my brother's house. Bruh. That's neither here nor there, but it worked. It worked. So I do the audition, and like when I did it, actors know. Like sometimes you feel it. You're like, I think I'm gonna get this. I just had a feeling, you know? I think I'm gonna get this. And lo and behold, I got it. So I found out a few days afterwards. I think the audition was due like on the 22nd. I wound up shooting on the 26th or something like that of September. So when you book a television role, it moves very quickly. It moves very, very quickly. It was only a couple of days between booking and being on set. And I'll be honest, like once you're there, once you're operating at that level, literally, you just have to be equipped to show up and get the job done. There was one table read. A table read, for those that don't know, is when you either get together in person or virtually and you read through the whole script. That's all that is. So I had my fitting, I had my table read, and the next day I was on set. And it's funny because when I was on set, oh, shut up. Bruh. Cállate, teléfono. When I was on set, they kept adding things, right? So we go in. I had to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. I made 2 cups of coffee. I drank 2 cups of coffee when I was on my way there. So by the time I drove from Jersey to Brooklyn, I had to pee so bad. Like, y'all, I'm in my 30s, okay? The bladder ain't what it used to be, okay? The bladder don't bladder as much as it used to, okay? I gotta hold it in. So I literally flung my door open as soon as I parked and had to like pop a squat on the street. I was like, listen, somebody's getting a free show. You're welcome. Venmo me. It was wild. It was wild. So I got my little trailer. I went to my little trailer. I put my uniform on. I was in the full police attire, including a heavy-ass coat. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was really trying to get out of wearing that coat because it was so hot. Oh, my God. I almost passed out on set. I'm not going to lie. I almost passed out. I was dripping sweat. Sweat beads were dripping down my face. And, you know, at this point, the type of role that I had is called a co-star, which is essentially, that's your first speaking role. That's the first tier of speaking role. So it's co-star, guest star, recurring, series regular, right? So, you know, I'm coming in at the bottom, as I should be, right? I'm paying my dues. Nobody could tell me I haven't paid my dues, both literally. Shoot, I got to pay SAG like $120 after I get out of here, actually. Thanks for reminding myself, Alana. So that's the first role. You're first in as far as being on television goes. So I was in one scene. And I was obviously super grateful and humbled and honored to be in that one scene. So we get to set. I'm sweating balls. Well, I'm a woman, so I'm sweating lips. I'm sweating lips. Sweat my lips off. No lips, just holes. Anyway, here we go. I'm on set, and, you know, we do one rehearsal take. Oh, here's your gun. We do another rehearsal take. Oh, here's a pair of gloves. Okay, we do another rehearsal take. Here's a notebook so you could start taking notes. So as we're progressing through, things are just being added and added and added on. So you just got to go with it, right? Like, my job as an actor is to be able to adapt to whatever is going on around me. And in the world of screen and television, there's really no room. You're on such a tight schedule because money is on the line. So you got to get that shot. We got to get that scene done within a certain amount of time. If not, the powers that be are going to be very upset if you have to go overtime and therefore over budget, right? We all trying to pinch a penny out here. Inflation is inflating, including the billionaires. Anyway, that's that. So it was so funny because I'm on set literally like dripping sweat, right? And I don't know if it was the costume person or the props person, but they're going up to the leads and like patting them down, patting the sweat off of them. And I'm just standing there like, and they just leave. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's okay. I'll just wipe. I could wipe. I could use my hands. I could wipe. I don't need a dab. It's fine. Literally sweat beads rolling down my face. Anyway, I flubbed the lines a couple times in the first couple takes, which was humbling, But once I got it, I got it. And I got fist bumps from the leads. The director was very pleased. By the end of the scene, the last shot, which we shot in reverse order, there's an interior shot, but the first shot that you see on TV is an exterior shot of me outside. That's the last thing that we shot. And it was hilarious because I'm wearing the police hat. And my first take of the outside shot, my hat falls off my freaking head. It hadn't happened the rest of the time. But of course, and then we all cracked up. So we had a moment and we got to bond over that. But then boom, second take, we got it done. I think we did 3 takes. Of that first shot. So, and literally the director, I heard him say, he was like, that was absolutely perfect. We're not going to get it any more perfect than that. And I was like, yes. Obviously, it wasn't just because of me, but in my brain, I took a lot of credit for that. So awesome time, awesome experience on set. I got to be, when you're not being utilized as an actor, they have you in what's called holding, which is another location in the proximity of the set where you wait. Hurry up and wait. That's the slogan for film and television because it really is. Most of the time that you spend on set is waiting, as an actor especially. So I got to be there and holding one of my favorite actors, Michaela Watkins. Oh my God. She's on the same episode. And, of course I wanted to fangirl, but I was like, I'm a professional. I'm just like her. I don't need to fangirl. I belong here. We all belong here. But nonetheless, she was there. And just to be in the energy of people that you've grown up idolizing and whose work you reference. I was also on that episode with one of my favorite teachers, Maury Ginsburg. So it was so full circle. It was so full circle in so many ways. And I'm going to give you a little more context as to what I mean by that. I'm going to bring this into my family, right? So I have 2 members of my family that were NYPD. One is my Uncle Mario. Shout out to Uncle Mario in Florida. The other is my cousin Tavio. Now, my cousin Tavio, unfortunately, passed away the day or 2 days after I graduated with my MFA. Literally, I think I graduated on a Friday, and I found out he passed away on that Sunday. And he was one of my favorite people, y'all. Like, he still is one of my favorite people. Like, so much of my sense of humor comes from him. He was so perverted. Oh, my God. He was so crass, but he was hilarious. He was absolutely hilarious. There is nobody that I have ever met close to this man. So it was just amazing to me. Wait, pause. So he passes away that Sunday after I graduate. 2 or 3 weeks later, his sister passes away, my other cousin. So coming out of school, like, it was tough for me because I was so happy and proud. And then boom, I'm hit with some devastating loss, I hadn't really got to spend a lot of time with either of my cousins before the pandemic, or during the pandemic rather. Like, I hadn't really seen them since before the pandemic. In fact, the last time I saw my cousin Danielle was at a comedy show that I produced when I was home for my winter break. in between semesters. She's actually the first person who told me, Alana, you need to be doing stand-up. So these figures in my life, even though I wasn't super duper close with them at the time of their passing, were always very, very close to my heart for numerous reasons. So fast forward, right? Fast forward. My first booking out of grad school, I just so happened to be playing a police officer. I got that audition either the day or the day after the 1-year anniversary of my cousin Danielle's passing. I'm on set. They give me my badge, my police officer badge. My badge number is my brother's birthday. I leave set. I get a text from my cousin Vanessa saying, yo, you was a cop on Law and Order today? I said, bitch, how you know? She said, I work for the company that handles payroll, and your paperwork came through, and I saw it said Alana Johnson for Law and Order, and I was like, that's definitely my cousin. So I was like, what? I didn't know you work for them. Pay me some more. Fluff my checkup, please. She couldn't do that, obviously. And obviously I was joking. Okay? SAG, entertainment partners, don't flag me. It was a joke. It was un chiste. Nonetheless, and in addition to that, in addition to all of this synchronicity with my family, the casting office for Law and Order is at Chelsea Piers in New York City. I grew up living at Chelsea Piers Sky Rink. And I knew that's where I used to ice skate. That was my home rink. I was there 5 to 6 days a week for years. It was my home. It was my home. And as a kid, I remember somebody talking about, oh yeah, Law and Order shoots here, Law and Order shoots here, which it doesn't. It just casts there. There's a difference. But there was always a part of me that was like, it would be cool to be a part of that at some point, someday. So in so many ways, it was so full circle for me. And it connected me to my family. Like, I don't know about y'all. I'm not really a religious person, but I am a very spiritual person. And I know that that was them. I know that that was my cousins. I know that that was my angels. I got a lot of angels. I'm getting a little misty even thinking about it. I got a lot of angels looking out for me. And I know that that was them. And in a way, this opportunity reconnected me with my relatives that unfortunately are no longer with us on this earthly plane. So for that, I'm so grateful. And it's just a sign that I'm on the right path. I am where I'm supposed to be. Because initially I really didn't want to come back to New York after I left Louisiana. I didn't. Well, New Jersey. Either way, the George Washington Bridge. Y'all know I be living on the George Washington Bridge and in the tunnel, okay? Bridge and tunnel all day. I should have a condo in each one. I really don't want to come back here. I didn't. Because being away and living a life just for my art, being away from all of my baggage, if you will, it was the most liberating thing. It was the most liberating thing. I grew so much as a person. I accomplished more in those 2 years than the previous 5, I would say, personally and professionally, as an artist and as a human being, which, again, I do really believe that growth as an artist and as a person are one and the same, right? So as an artist, your business is you. As an actor, my instrument is me. So anyway, all that to say, I wanted to go to Atlanta. There's a lot happening in Atlanta, or even London. Those were the 2 places. Like my heart is in London. There's a big piece of my heart that's in London, which may or may not have something to do with the fact that I was raised by the Spice Girls. I was the 6th Spice Girl, okay? I was Scary Spice's pubes. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Y'all recognize me? She didn't let me out much. Because then I'd have a reason to call her Scary. Anyway, I didn't want to be back here. I didn't. I thought it was better for my growth to stay away. But this experience was an affirmation that maybe I won't be here forever, but for now, I'm exactly where I am supposed to be. Hey y'all, it's your girl Alana J, and I'm here to tell you about all the magic that is happening at Bravery Studios, New Jersey's #1 podcast recording studio. At Bravery Studios, you handle all the talking and they do the rest. That's it. Seriously, all you have to do is show up and shine. Yes, honey, work. With 3 different filming locations, there's a perfect space for every type of podcast. From cozy chats to high-energy shows, Bravery has got you covered. But wait, there's more. Bravery Studios hosts monthly events and podcast gatherings, perfect for networking and connecting with fellow creators. So what are you waiting for? Head over to Bravery Studios and let's make some podcast magic together. Do it. Come on. You know you want to. You know you want to. So yeah, that was my first booking in the Law and Order universe. I really hope I get to come back at some point. I really do. Dick Wolf, Jonathan Strauss casting. Please, I'm meant to be a cop on TV. Not in real life. Not in real life. But on the TV. I got the look, you know? And I love the fact that I'm getting to honor my family by fulfilling a role like that. So that wasn't my first network television role. I've appeared on Blue Bloods. I've appeared on Power Book 3, on Raising Kanan. I booked those 2 gigs before grad school. And it's funny, y'all. It's crazy because I booked Blue Bloods in 2019. It was the first gig that I booked with my representation at that time. I had signed with her in January 2019. I booked that, I think it was in October. I think I booked that in October 2019. So then, what happened? A few months later, the pandemic. Boom, everything is shut down. I'm like, are you kidding me, God? Are you serious right now? I'm just getting started.
That's crazy. I really don't like that guy.
You know what I'm saying? I was just getting started. I'm like, I'm finally in the I don't know, the decision makers who I need to know me are finally getting to know me. Boom, everything shuts down. And I'm like, you know what? During the pandemic, I was really like, I really may need to consider doing something else completely and entirely because I don't know. I don't know if this is coming back. I'm already in my 30s. You know what I mean? I was getting into my head about a lot of things. Like, am I even supposed to be doing this? Then what happened? Boom. During the pandemic, I booked Power Book 3. So I was like, all right, okay, we got another one. We got another one. We did it once. Now we've done it twice. Boom, we could do it again. It's a numbers game at this point, right? I booked Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. Yo, I had to take like 175 COVID tests for that. It was crazy. It was crazy. Literally, every time I went to the studio, which I had to go to the studio for the fitting. Well, not even because of going to the studio, but in general, they wanted to make us continue testing just in case at any point we tested positive leading up to the shoot. Did not test positive. Boom, got that done. And I think I talked a little bit about that initially. My role wound up being 1 line on Power Book 3 as well. Initially, it was supposed to be a longer scene, and they wound up giving those lines to somebody else who was supposed to shoot previously because they had to shut production down for a year because of COVID. So, you know, they gave it to her. I was fine with that. She was a lovely lady. But of course, I'm like, oh, like, when am I going to get, you know, when am I going to get more than one? I can do this. I'm made for this. Ha ha ha. Anyway, so boom. Then I go to grad school. Then I come back, and here we are, right? But in the beginning, when I first started auditioning, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first started auditioning for legitimate television, I still kind of didn't know what I was doing. When it comes to acting, I really did jump out of an airplane and started to build a parachute on the way down. 10 years ago, I jumped out of an airplane. And I think I have finally assembled the parachute 10 years later. Wild. Like, My first audition was for HBO's The Deuce, which is a show about James Franco plays twins, which is like, really, my guy? You got to play two characters, really? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I mean, Lindsay Lohan did it too in The Parent Trap, and I wasn't mad at her, so I guess I shouldn't be mad at James. My bad, James. Love you. Mean it. My first audition was for The Deuce, and I was supposed to play a doped up porn star. I was supposed to play, and in the script it says I'm on heroin. Yo, I was just talking about this audition this morning. When I tell you, I was doing the research. How does heroin affect you? Do. Again, it was only the beginning role. It was a co-star role. It wasn't a huge part. When I went into that audition, y'all, I had all this prep. I was so excited. I deliver the lines. I do my thing. And the casting director is like, okay, so don't do any of that. And I was like, okay. Noted. She was like, literally, just say the words. And in that moment, I was like, yeah, we didn't get this. We did not get this. But I'm going to be honest, I was actually kind of happy because I was supposed to have my tits out if I booked that. And one, I've always had a weird relationship with my tits. But two, I definitely was not comfortable with the idea that my first appearance on television was going to be semi-nude, you know? So rejection really was God's protection for that role. Yeah. Auditioning is an entirely different beast, y'all. It's an entirely different beast. Auditioning and acting on set are two completely different art forms. Like, when I'm doing an audition and I'm supposed to be driving a car or in a restaurant, obviously for the audition, I'm not really going to be driving a car or in a restaurant. So you have to convey that reality with just your iPhone and your backdrop, you know? There's a lot of craftsmanship that goes into the art of auditioning. And I'm still, every time I audition, it's like I'm doing it for the first time. Every single time. And even the most successful actors in the world will say that every time they get a script, it's like they're doing it for the first time. And I think that's the thing that I love about what I do. It never gets old because I always have to be a beginner. I always have to act like a beginner and remain teachable and know that I'm never going to fully know what I'm doing, you know? And that's the thing about me in general. I'm always in class, y'all. For the last 10 years, masters aside, I have consistently been in class, consistently working on my craft, consistently acting like I have no idea what I'm doing, even though I low-key do. But that's the mindset that I have to maintain, because once I think I got it, I know I don't. Anybody who says I got this, those are the people that you got to be cautious of, because nobody ever gets this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I could hear you responding at home. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So in general, right? Thank you, Curtis. In life, I do think that is a very important mindset to maintain. Always remain teachable. Always remain humble. Always know that you know nothing. One of them philosophers said, I know nothing, therefore I am wise. I know nothing, therefore I am wise. Maybe it was Socrates. Maybe it was Plato. I don't know. It was one of them Greek dudes. But they ain't lying. They ain't not lying. They ain't not lying. What is that? Is that even words? All right, so I shot the episode. The episode that I was in aired on November 14th. We shot on September 26th. And that day was wild. It was an amazing day. It was a long day, which I'm used to, you know. I be getting up for work at 4 a.m. and not going to bed till midnight all the time. But this day was... This day was exceptionally exciting because I also had a Don't Tell comedy show that night. Which, like, any comics know, like, that's a show that is always amazing to be a part of. The brand is so strong. The audiences love comedy. They're gonna laugh because they want to laugh, which is the best. Sometimes you got audience members that are like, okay, monkey, what you got? Dance, monkey, dance, you know? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But so I go to set. I think I got home around like 2 o'clock. I got home around 2 o'clock. No, I lied. I got stuck in mad traffic. I'm lying. I am lying. I wrapped around 1 o'clock. I didn't get home till almost 4 o'clock. Driving from Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Driving from Greenpoint, Brooklyn, back to New Jersey. I didn't get home till like 4 o'clock. And I had a show on Long Island, like an hour and a half away from me, at 7. So I thought that I was going to take a nap. That didn't happen. Literally, I lied down for maybe 20 minutes. I did like a meditation, a guided meditation for like 20 minutes. Got up, washed my culo, got in my car, and drove to Long Island. And I was exhausted. And I hosted that show that night. That's right. I hosted that show that night, which I'd never hosted a Don't Tell show before, right? Shout out to Karthik. You'reTheBomb.com. Karthik be hooking a sister up. So I was just so elated from the day that I just got on stage and so I was like, y'all, I just came from Law and Order today, y'all. Y'all can see me on Law and Order. I had a blast. This is one of the best days of my life. It's hard for me to be funny when I'm so happy because a lot of my jokes come from pain and I'm really happy right now. So I'm just going to talk to y'all. Anyway, it was a blast, but that was a long-ass day. I got home maybe at midnight, maybe later, because I wound up staying at the venue that the Don't Tell show was at and kicking it with the comics and talking to the owner of the venue. And everybody was so happy for me, so excited for me. And I just got to say, and I know a lot of actors and artists in general can relate to this. Being an actor especially, it's one of those things that people don't really support until they see it. They don't really believe you can do it until there's evidence that you've done it. And that's where I'm at right now. And that's fine. You know, that's fine. I'm okay with that because this whole time I knew that I could do this. When I started acting, which again was just circumstantial, I had no conscious desire to ever become an actor until I took a class almost 10 years ago now, or more than 10 years ago now. And I gotta say, when I started in those classes, again, I knew. I got management very quickly because I was surrounded by so many actors. I got management very quickly, potentially too quickly, and that's how I got that audition for The Deuce. And that's how I wound up going in and having a casting director tell me, don't do any of that. So humbling, and I'm so grateful for those experiences. I'm so grateful that I had the shamelessness to just say, fuck it, I'm gonna do this. But when I started, I was just like, there's no way I'm not meant to do this. Honestly, I'm the perfect type of broken to be a phenomenal actor. I'm the perfect type of broken to have my light shine through the cracks of my life experiences. And I think a lot of artists can resonate with that. Madness is genius. And I'm pretty fucking mad. That manager that I worked with that got me the audition for The Deuce, she told me when she signed me, she was like, you know, it might be 10 years before you see any results. You know that, right? And I was like, I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And I feel like there's nobody more dangerous than the person who has nothing to lose. And that person is me. So yeah, I just stayed true. I've stayed true to myself this whole time, despite family not understanding me. And of course, now those family are hitting me up, congratulating me and bragging about, oh, my niece, prima, whatever, is on Law and Order. So that's why I brought up the fact that it is one of those paths that people don't fully support until they see the proof in the pudding. And I'm in a place where I got some proof in my pudding, y'all. I got some pudding proof. And I'm going to keep adding to that pudding. I love pudding, you know, no Bill Cosby. Why did I say that? Probably because it's funny to me. So yeah. For anybody out there who is just getting into this or who is struggling with, should I even be doing this? Yes, you should. Yes, you should. This game is crazy ups, crazy downs. The game itself is bipolar, along with a lot of the people in it, you know? So just keep going. Just keep going. When people tell me it might not happen, I'm like, the only reason it wouldn't happen is if I stop. And I'm not gonna stop till I drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. That's it. So obviously I am a multi-hyphenated artist. I act, I do stand-up comedy, I do sketch comedy, I do musical comedy. I do a lot. And I love it all. I love it all. I tell people I do all of these things because ultimately, whenever I get to where I'm going to be, I know that I can confidently say I did not leave any stone unturned. Whichever door that I walk through that happens to be the door that helps feed me, because that's the goal. The goal is to be fed, not famous. The goal is to be fed. The goal is for me to eat off of my creativity and my art, point blank, period. I'm so grateful to also do stand-up comedy because stand-up comedy is something that I don't necessarily have full control over, but to an extent I do. I can control my output. I can get my own opportunities. I can create my own opportunities. I can produce shows, you know? So I'm super duper grateful for stand-up comedy because during this time of pandemic strike stuff in the film and television world, I have had that as an outlet. And it's given me the opportunity, obviously, to strengthen that skill set, which I am still obviously and will forever be working on. Again, I'm never going to be in a position to say, I got this, you know? So I'm super duper grateful to stand-up comedy for that, for the opportunity to just perform and not have to wait for somebody to give me an opportunity to perform. That said, it's interesting doing both because something that I recently realized was that as an actor, it is your job to take things personally and to be affected. As an actor, the most important person in the room is the other person. It's not you and your lines. It's, are you genuinely, believably, and authentically reacting to what the person in front of you is giving you, to the energy that they are giving you, right? As an actor, it's my job to be affected. As a stand-up comic, I am the affector. I am the one who has to make the audience react, right? So that realization has been fucking awesome. For me, I don't know what other word to use to describe it. It's been pretty revelatory, and it's given me, now when I get on stage, y'all, my goal is to have fun. Before, it was like, okay, Alana, you gotta do the set, make sure you remember the set, do the set. Nah, yeah, you gotta do the set, but you gotta have fun, man. Nobody wants to watch you if you're looking like you're anxious about what you're doing, you know? And I think I had that problem for a while. But now, literally I've been performing the least consistently that I have in months, and I've been having the most fun. that I have ever had getting on stage doing stand-up comedy, saying, you know what? Put it in the bucket. Fuck it. Look, we out here slinging yucks. The stakes couldn't be any lower. You know? We're adults playing. We are adults playing. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy it. And let's create magic. Let's just create magic. So that was a recent realization that I had. And I just bring that up to say, most of what I'm doing right now is stand-up comedy and sketch comedy. So if you want to check me out, go to my website, alanaj.tv, for all of my shows. And if you're in the New York, New Jersey area, I hope to see you soon, okay? I got a show coming up on December 7th at Broadway Comedy Club. I got a show, I have a show tonight, but y'all not going to make it because this isn't, it's going to be too late. I have a show November 22nd. I got shows. I'm going to be hosting Isabel Valise Alvarez's EP release party on December 11th. That's going to be a blast. So come see me, y'all. Come see me because, look, I need you. I need you. So come and laugh and live, laugh, love, and be #blessed. And that's that. That is that. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Thank you for everything, coño. Thank you for everything. Please make sure to subscribe, share, smash that like button. Smash it. Smash that stuff. I'm trying to curse less. That's on my list right now because my mom is always like, well, you was cursing on the live. I was at work. I had to lower it. I'm like, God damn it. I just cursed again. What do you want me to do? I'm sorry. I'm like, Mom, did you meet your husband? Okay? You think this is a coincidence? Coño. Anyway, subscribe, come to a show, and I'll see you soon. Till next time. Besos! All right.